Hi there, crafty friends. Welcome and thank you for joining me. My name is Melissa, and today I thought we would use Concord and Ninth's Love Letter dies for one last Valentine's Day card. So this can be a Valentine's Day card, or it can be an anniversary card, or it can be just a love card. You can make this anything that you want. I am a little tired of working with pink though, so we are going to make this a little bit different. We're going to use mostly white. So for our main die here, this is the border die. It is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I wasn't a big fan of it, so I'm going to bring in something different. You have the little pieces there that you can pop out, or you can leave them in place. I just put a little bit of tape behind there to hold them, but I wasn't a fan of this. So I am going to use a different border. And I already have quite a bit of stuff done. This will be a fairly short video. I just wanted to show you how I do it. So I've got a top folding card base here. I've got my background. And for my background, I brought in Pink Fresh Studios stitched rectangles because I wanted a stitching around the edge, because our love, the letters in the word love, also have stitching around them. So we've got our background die here. I cut that out of just regular white cardstock, and I stacked that 3 times because we are going to have a lot of layers and dimension in this card. So I've already got my love cut out, but I wanted to do a little bit of color to this. We are using mostly white, but I wanted to add a little bit of color for our leaves and our hearts. So I wanted to show you what I do for that. I don't want to use a whole piece to cut out my shapes. So I'm just using scraps, and I'm just going to lay those on top of what I want to cut out. And these scissors, oh my goodness. You know, I saw these Spellbinders scissors previously, and I thought, oh, they're not that great. They're just scissors. Why is everybody ranting and raving over just scissors? And then I tried them, and oh my goodness, they cut beautifully. So what I'm doing here is I'm just putting some scraps of green over those areas. Then I will bring in my magnetic mat from my Empress. I will pick those up, and it should have held them in place, but it looks like it slipped a little. That's all right. We can just nudge that over there. And then I will go run this through my machine. Then I am going to just flip this over, and I am going to keep all those pieces in those dies. I am going to try to make this really simple. I will then just clean up the edges. So I want to get everything off of here that is not a piece that I am using. So that was really easy. I've got all my pieces in there. I'm just going to leave the hearts in there right now, even though we're not going to use them. And then I will just take a piece of Spellbinders tape here and hold these in place. I don't want to lose them. I want them in the same area when I remove them. I don't want them to get all mixed up, although I think it would probably be okay. But I just want to keep them all together. Then I can flip that over, peel back my tape, and it has all of my pieces and they won't get lost. So many times when I do paper piecing like this, I will lose some of my little pieces, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to peel that off, and all of my little pieces stick in there just like I want them. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of cardstock, and I am going to put them in the same place where they would be for the letter. So that was for part of my E. This one is for part of my O. And I'm just going to keep them organized. So now all of my little pieces are die cut. we can go ahead and we can do our other color. For my other color, I thought we would use purple. You know, I've been using pink on so much stuff lately, and I just wanted to use a different color. So I'm going to do the same thing with the little hearts. We will cover those and then we will cut those out. Then I can pop out my hearts. And we are ready to assemble already. Oops, one of them got cut off. Let me go cut another one. So I've got all my hearts, I've got all my little leaves, and we are going to start just placing these in our letters. Pretty darn simple. We're just going to pick these up off of the tape and lay them where we want them. And they will kind of hold in place because after we're done with this, we will add adhesive to the back. It's a little fiddly, but it doesn't take very much time at all. So there, I've got my hearts and my leaves in my letters. That took no time at all to place those. And I did not put tape on the back. I could have put tape on the back, but I knew I was just going to flip them over and add foam tape. So I didn't feel it was necessary to use tape to hold them in place. So now I am just going to put foam tape behind all of my letters. I've got foam tape behind my L. I'm just going to give that a little press to make sure those hearts and leaves stay placed. Then I can flip over my next letter and I can start working on that one. So I've got foam tape behind all of my letters. I've got my background. Let's get that added. So I am just going to try to center that top to bottom and right to left. There's not a lot of room on the sides, so that's real easy to center. But I just want to make sure we have about the same distance on the top to bottom. And I think that looks pretty good. So now we can add our letters. And for my letters, I just need to remove the backings and then we can place those. And I am just going to pull this down a little bit. You want to make sure that you get it right in those little notches so they all fit on there perfectly. Then we need to do our V because we want to make sure everything fits well. And there's a lot of foam tape on here. Some people may say that's too much, but you know what? The letters are our main focal point. And I wanted to make sure that they had a lot of dimension. So there we go. Now we can add our O and our E. Now our E is a little bit tilted. He's not straight like that. He kind of goes up. So we want to just make sure we get that placed right along those lines there. And that looks good. And that is already so pretty. You know what? I love a nice, clean, simple card. I added some foam tape to the back of my panel. We can add that to our card base. Just get that nice and centered. Just like that. And this card has so much dimension. Even though it is all white, the shadows on there are just amazing. I love that. So for my sentiment, I brought in my favorite Spellbinders Better Press Plate die set, and there are a ton of sentiments on here. You've got Happy Anniversary, Always and Forever, and then there was one other one I thought we could use, You're My Everything. So we've got those. I white hot foiled on black cardstock, and I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use, but I knew I just wanted a super simple sentiment on there. And I think that is going to be perfect. I think we'll have it hang over just a little bit. So let's get some foam tape behind that sentiment. And that card is almost done. All we have to do is add some embellishments. And I wanted to keep this super simple. So I am just using my Pink Fresh Studio Clear Drops in Ice, just because we have some color Not a lot of color, but I wanted to keep it really pretty simple. And that card is done. I think that came out so cute. And I love that it's not pink or, magenta or red for Valentine's Day. This can be for anything, anniversary, just because you love somebody. That came out so cute and it was so easy. And I really like just the white. Here I did do some pink, even though I'm a little tired of pink, but it still came out really cute. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Everything will be listed and linked in the description below. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.